It is 5 a.m. on the dot. Good to see you. I'm LaSalle Blanks.
And I'm Vanessa Coria. We're going to get to that big story for you in just a moment. But first, we need to check in with the Weather Lab. We are waking up with some green on the radar.
What does that mean? Craig is here tracking things for us as we all wake up, stretch, and try to get going. Hey, Craig, good morning.
Stretching sounds pretty good, guys. Yeah, loosen it up a little bit on the...
Would you like to see light rail extended to Naval Station Norfolk? Well, you can share your thoughts on that issue at a workshop tonight at 6 at Granby High School. HRT and the City of Norfolk are hosting this event. It's part of a $1.8 million study focusing on linking the tide to Naval Station Norfolk. There is another meeting Wednesday night. Police in Henrico County could find out later today if a body found is that of a missing boy. Police say search teams found the body in a pool on Sunday close to where 11-year-old Frederick Fitzgerald disappeared over the weekend. He was last seen around 7:30 on Saturday night. The medical examiner is working now on an ID. And we're waiting to learn more about a body a fisherman discovered under a bridge in Norfolk yesterday. Forensic teams surrounded the Granby Street Bridge around 2 o'clock. Police do not know the victim's age, only that he is an adult male. We spoke to a witness worried that his fishing buddy fell in the water and said it was that fishing buddy, in fact, who found the remains. The body, we're told, is at the medical examiner's office, waiting to be identified. It is a big day for President Obama as he gears up for the G8 summit coming up on 13 News Daybreak. Which global issues the president is set to tackle? This is them arriving in Ireland.
And change is coming for the ferry service on the Outer Banks. We'll explain what's going on that could make commutes easier.
President Obama is meeting with top international leaders today at the G8 summit. The president and his family landed in Ireland just before 4 o'clock this morning Eastern time. This is the first family arriving, and we are going to take a live look now at the president speaking at the G8 summit. During the two-day event, the president plans to discuss major international issues such as the war in Syria and the global economy. President Obama's trip will wrap up, we're told, on Wednesday. As the NSA surveillance controversy continues to unfold, one senator is taking action to protect the privacy of Americans. Democratic Senator Mark Udall of Colorado plans to introduce a bill this week that will narrow the reach the NSA has in certain areas of the Patriot Act. This comes as the NSA and top government officials defend the data collection, saying the information collected has stopped dozens of terror plots in recent years. Back here at home, a dredging project at Rudy Inlet in Virginia Beach set to begin today. The Army Corps of Engineers will spend 4 days removing shoaling in the channel down there. Engineers expect to dredge material, which they will then place directly north of the entrance channel and inlet jetties. The $78,000 project is partially funded by the feds.
How often do I rely on you to keep me straight?
Almost
all
every
the time.
day, gosh.
I don't know how to answer that.
That's Ocracoke Island.
Ocracoke Island.
Yeah, there may have been a little typo in
yeah, there was a
I
typo.
think it's an easy typo. That's
Yeah,
all.
sorry about that, guys. See it?
I just want to make sure we're all good. It's Monday morning. I mean, come on. Here's what we have for you this Monday morning. A chance for showers.
Here's a time check now, 5:21. It's Monday morning. You use your smartphone for just about everything. But do you really need it to close your blinds? One app maker says yes and has the download to help you do it. See what else the new app can do.
Okay. Plus, a wireless company is using your phone to reach out and touch someone. Next in Tech Bites.
The Virginia Beach SPCA is working to win a national competition, and you can help them do it.
Yeah, it's called the Rachel Ray Adoption Campaign. Only 50 shelters across the country were chosen to compete. The goal is to increase the number of adoptions this summer for animals in need. The winning shelter gets $100,000. The competition ends August 31st.
And we are learning more this morning about the government's request for data.
ABC's Rob Nelson has this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bite,
temperatures are rising, so are our chances for rain. Craig is using the Futurecast to let us know when we could all see some wet weather.
Then we'll, of course, have our top stories for you beginning at 5:30 this morning. The tunnel toll battle ramping up as one group takes their fight straight to Richmond.
And they're accused of setting fire to dozens of buildings on the Eastern Shore. Now they get set to face the judge. More on this big case next on Daybreak. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 13 News Daybreak. It's 5:30 on your Monday. I'm LaSalle Blanks.
And I'm Vanessa Coria. We'll have more on the toll situation in a moment for you. But But first, Craig is tracking a little bit of rain on the radar for us. How are we waking up this morning, Craig?
Good morning, guys. I think most areas actually dry south side. And
the man and woman accused of setting those arsons on the eastern shore are set to appear in a courtroom this afternoon. Tanya Bundick and Charles Smith III will face a judge in Accomack County for their preliminary hearings. Authorities believe they're behind most of the 77 arsons which were sparked last fall. Last month, both of them were declared competent to stand trial. Authorities arrested them back in April. New this morning, more arrests in a robbery case in Norfolk. Police tell us they picked up 2 more people for robbing and beating a man near Military Circle last week. Officers arrested Emmanuel McCants and Gail Lewis yesterday. According to investigators, Lewis drove this getaway car. Police arrested another woman, Edwina Randall, on Saturday.
Closing down the prison at Guantanamo Bay. President Obama says it needs to happen, and he says he has just the right person to do it. Details straight ahead.
Then more on the firefight out west. Families are still out of their homes in Colorado this morning. Are firefighters getting a handle on the flames out there? We have an update for you.
Now it's 5:42. 2 emergency calls within months to the same hotel room in North Carolina. 3 people died of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Could those deaths have been prevented? Coming up, we're going to tell you who's now getting the blame for not telling police about the issue before it was too late. The Obama administration is one step closer to closing the prison at Guantanamo Bay Naval Base in Cuba. Today, President Obama is expected to appoint Clifford Sloan as the State Department's new special representative for closing down the prison. Sloan is a high-powered Washington, D.C. attorney. He will reopen the State Department's Office of Guantanamo Closure. The office closed back in January. Since then, President Obama has pledged to renew efforts to close the prison. The state of North Carolina is reviewing its role in the investigation of an 11-year-old boy's death. The boy died more than a week ago in a Boone, North Carolina motel room. He suffered from carbon monoxide poisoning. He is the 3rd person to die in the same Best Western hotel room from the deadly gas. A Washington state couple died 2 months earlier. A state medical examiner that did not notify health officials resigned on Friday. And you mentioned some rain is coming their way that could help the firefighters out a lot.
They got a lot of rain yesterday. Now that complex of storms is pushing through Oklahoma and Kansas. They could get some more scattered wet weather out there, which certainly helps. What they need is rain with less thunderstorm development. Those lightning strikes can actually spark additional ones. So we'll continue to monitor all of that. I'm also watching very carefully our local weather.
GM issues a big recall. Is your car on the list? Stick around, we'll hear what the problem is.
Then the prices at the pump. Up next on 13 News Daybreak, which direction our gas prices are headed. Gun sales, they were up last year.
And GM issues a big recall this morning. ABC's Diana Perez checks out America's money.
Good morning. Topping America's money.
All right, thank you, Diana. Will you need your umbrella today? Craig is tracking some rain, and he has the forecast for you coming up next.
Plus, your lunch will soon be parked right outside the office in Norfolk. Today, city leaders make some big decisions about food trucks. Stick around. We'll let you know what's happening coming up.